Good evening, hello and welcome. You're watching CNN News 18. This is Nation at 5 with me, Poonam Burde. The story that we're focusing on this hour is the unending hate that we're seeing, hate against India, against the Hindu community in Canada. Unfortunately, it's spilling over to the United States as well. But first, let's talk about what happened in Canada. There was this Lakshmi Narayan temple where we had pro-Khalistani sympathizers come out and harass the people who were at the temple. And remember, there were warnings that such an attack would take place. Just a few days ago, during Diwali festivities, we also saw something similar happen. Once again, at this temple in Surrey, we had pro-Khalistani sympathizers who did come out and attack these temples, try and attack the Hindu community, but the community gave it back as well. They were confronted. There are no takers really for this kind of propaganda that these pro-Khalistani sympathizers are trying to unleash. We've seen many of failed referendums there, very few people actually turning up. Every single time they try and put out these propaganda videos, India has been giving it back in equal measure, both diplomatically. That is something Canada has been looking into as well. But unfortunately, the list is never ending and more instances only keep coming to the fore. Let's take a look at what exactly has happened in this particular temple in Surrey in Canada. These gay groups were protesting outside the Lakshmi Narayan temple there. That is when the Hindu community confronted these pro-Khalistani sympathizers. Their protest was a complete failed one because the Hindu community went on to counter these protests and push them back. This harassment by the K elements was something that was confronted by the Hindu group. Their propaganda clearly failing. The pro-Khalistani sympathizers forced to leave from there. What we're learning from our temple officials from there in Surrey is that the fear for our lives was because of this K elements and that these things happened regularly there. Temples are frequently targeted, is what this official told us. No action has been taken by the Canadian authorities despite several complaints, is what one of the temple officials came out and confirmed to us here on CNN News 18. And this only goes on to show the kind of laxity or complicity, if you will, as far as the Canadian authorities and this kind of anti-India hate is concerned. Unfortunately, we're also seeing some spillover effect into the United States. We had the ambassador of India to United States, Hardeep Singh Nijjar, who was at a local Gurdwara in Long Island, where there were certain questions that were put to him. Another propaganda video that was thrown out by the SFJ, going on to show or try to paint a picture that this is how they confronted the Indian ambassador to the United States. But this was not the case. This is nothing but a fabricated news story. This is just propaganda and fakery by SFJ and Gurpatwant Singh Pannoon is what we're gathering from our sources here within the intelligence. In fact, we have some more breaking news that's coming in as well, and we're gathering more information from our sources within the intelligence agency. And this is about how the desperation of Sikh for justice and its leader is only escalating now, which is why this video of Taranjit Singh Sadhu is being put out by these pro-Khalistani sympathizers to try and paint a narrative which is not the real picture, which is not the complete picture. In fact, let's tell you exactly what had transpired at that Long Island Gurdwara in New York. Here's what exactly happened, but this is a narrative that Sikhs for Justice is trying to paint. Indian diplomats are respected across communities. There's absolutely no question as far as that is concerned. Sikhs for Justice is misleading via social media. They're in fact trying to make money out of these propaganda videos as well. Diplomat Sandhu's video is part of this propaganda, and that is exactly what it is. It is not the true story, which is what has been made clear by our sources within intelligence agencies here in India. Taranjit Singh Sadhu was honoured by the local Sikh community. There was absolutely no assault or heckling that took place, as SFJ would like us to believe. In fact, these pro-Khalistani sympathizers were harassing Indians at events and temples, and this is not the first time that we have seen something like this come to the fore. The major concern really is that the inaction that comes to the fore from the police, be it United States or be it Canada, that seems to remain the common theme as far as authorities turning a blind eye is concerned. India is soon going to be raising these issues with its counterparts because it is about India's ambassador, it is about the highest diplomat in that country, and it is something that will be taken up diplomatically as well. Safety and security of Indian diplomats is a top priority, will continue to be one. That is something that India had echoed when we had seen several such attacks and several such hecklings take place of the Indian ambassador, the Indian High Commissioner to Canada as well. Abhishek, my colleague, now joining us, getting us more details. Abhishek seeks for justice. These Khalistani sympathizers seem to be getting desperate by the minute, which is why we keep seeing these threat videos that come out, the propaganda videos that they keep putting out. There are very little takers, even for the multiple referendums they try to hold.
It looks like apathy from the side of administration and from the government side, that this organization like Seek for Justice and other pro-Khalistani organization have been let run amok in the two societies that we have seen. Seek for Justice, especially Panun, who has been a U.S. and Canadian citizen, who has been organizing most of these referendums that we have seen happening in the recent months in Australia, in UK, in USA, and in Canada. Also, Seek for Justice has been defending many cases of pro-Khalistani elements or violent individuals who have been charged with serious criminal charges in India also. So, the complicity of the local government in Canada and USA has been very worrying for the Indian government. And we know that, there have been a lot of discussions going on. There is a working mechanism between the two sides, between India and Canada and between India and USA as well, where the two sides regularly discuss and share intelligence input on the challenges and national security threats. In USA's case, there is MEA had recently said that there is a working mechanism where the two sides had recently shared how the organized crime, how the gunneries, how the individuals could be a challenge to the national security. And in India's case, Indian government has been working on that. And in USA's case, the Indian government expects USA would take some, strong actions that would deter these elements to, target Indian communities and Indian diplomats in the future as well. But at the same time, we continue to see every day or, every alternate day that there is some incidents in Canada or in USA which involves these Khalistani elements who goes on and disrupts and targets Indian communities, Indian temples, and Indian diplomats. Today, we saw those videos of Indian ambassador in USA, Taranjit Sindhu, who was apparently by a couple of people who shouted and who kind of demanded that Hardeep Singh Nijjar's killing has been a responsibility of Indian government and they should come out clean on that. We know that the propaganda was also set up to some extent by the Canadian Prime Minister, who claimed that Indian agencies' alleged role was there in killing of Hardeep Singh Nijjar. But in the last 2 months or so, he has not been able to share any concrete evidence on the basis of which he had made up that case. So there is a side of issue which involves these Khalistani elements. But the more worrying sign is that the local government's apathy towards these extremist elements who are posing a serious security challenge for Indian communities present in these countries.
Abhishek, do stay on with me. Security analyst Major General A.K. Sivaj now joining us here on this broadcast. Thank you so much for speaking with us here on CNN News 18. We see this kind of free run to pro-Khalistani sympathizers both in Canada and the United States. Unfortunately, it's not just the common citizens of India there that are facing the brunt. The High Commissioner in Canada, the Ambassador in the United States, also at the receiving end of this. And it's really up to these countries to now ensure that this stops.
Yeah, very correct. See, the point is that both in US and Canada especially, that the protesters are coming and protesting outside a temple, Hindu temple. What message are they sending? Why the Canadian government is not able to take action against that? Now, every time the Canada is raising a finger and pointing out that Indian agencies are involved in elimination of Hardeep Singh Nijjar, we have been telling time and again, where is the proof, where is the evidence? We are ready to cooperate with it, but provided you provide us a concrete evidence. But instead of giving a concrete evidence, now they have reached to a stage wherein it is being doctored, it is monitored by them, that they are the one which are now bringing this Khalistani activists and they are protesting not only in front of our embassy, but also in front of Hindu temples. And the Hindus there in Canada especially are living in threat and fear. And this is a failure of Justin Trudeau government. In fact, he has failed it completely like his father failed. The question comes today as far as Canada is concerned, they are playing with fire. They need India more than India needs Canada. There is a free trade agreement which was to be signed. This has gone in a cold status only due to Justin Trudeau attitude, and we know that basically he's doing everything for his domestic politics because Justin Trudeau government is a minority government and he needs Gurmeet Singh help, New Democratic Party, which is a pro-Khalistani separatist. So the question today which is coming is that in case they allow such people to protest in front of our embassy, or consulate or in front of Hindu temple, we will pay them back in the same coin, and we must bring it out to Canada and also to US. This is not acceptable. They are your citizens. You cannot allow them to do what they are doing. And in case if they do it, then we, as far as India is concerned, we have all the right to take a legal course of action. And I suppose that has to be taken. But certainly,
Absolutely, and diplomatically, India has been giving it back in equal measure. That will continue if both these countries fail to act, especially as far as safety and security of our diplomats is concerned. But Major General Sivaj, thank you so much for speaking with us here on CNN News 18 and sharing your perspective. Now, we've seen the spillover effect in the United States as well. We've seen several such instances coming in from Canada as far as the free run to Khalistani sympathizers is concerned. It's not just this one attack outside the Lakshmi Narayan temple. Just a few days ago, there was a consulate event that took place where certificates were given so that elderly citizens of India in Canada could still get their pension from the Indian government. That event was also attacked. That event was also disrupted by these Khalistani sympathizers. Abhishek, my colleague, continues to be with us, getting us more details. Abhishek, one common theme as far as all of these instances is that A, the police either do not pay heed to the warning signs, or B, even if they are there, they turn mute spectators.
Well, it's really concerning for Indian government, because we have seen multiple times the issue of Khalistani extremism has been raised by India at ambassadorial level, at ministerial level, in the leadership level also. But the kind of allegation that is coming from the Canadian side, it more look like a whataboutery rather than acting on the real evidences that these people have been giving. Indian agencies have been sharing all those criminal charges, and there is a red corner notice against some of these Khalistani elements, but the Canadian government seems not to be acting upon those real inputs. We have also seen, like our expert was saying, these Khalistani elements, they have been accommodated in the social and political landscape of the Canadian society, and to the extent that the current government of Canada, the government led by Justin Trudeau, has been supported by these elements who are more sympathetic towards Khalistani people, and who have been known for their anti-India rhetorics in the past as well. So
Yes.
there's no wonder why we don't see much of a concrete action coming from the Justin Trudeau government against these Khalistani elements. Or for that matter, the voter bank in USA also seems to be playing and being one of the reasons why USA government also doesn't seem to be very harshly going against these Khalistani elements. We have seen our mission in San Francisco being attacked twice this year, and
Yes.
probably after the second attack, the government swung into action and did some, barricading, in front of the mission's building so that it would not be impacted by these extremist elements in the future. But having said that, the elements, their handlers and their gatherings, these are the things that the governments need to stop, needs to not allow them.
Absolutely, and immediate action needs to be taken so that a message is sent out. Abhishek, thank you so much for getting us the latest on that, because even as Justin Trudeau is busy blaming India for all that happens on his soil, law and order situation there seems to be an issue, and gang wars seem to be the real issue that Justin Trudeau and his administration should be looking at, because we've seen several such instances come to the fore. The latest one, of course, is when gunshots were heard outside Punjabi singer Gippy Garewal's home in Vancouver. We then had a gangster come out and claim responsibility. Lawrence Bishnoi said that his gang had perpetuated this as a message, as a warning to Gippy Garewal. This is because of his closeness to Salman Khan, and that really was the issue. We then spoke to Gippy Garewal, and this is what he had to tell us.
ये कनाडा में कहाँ पे आपके घर पे फायरिंग हुई है और कब हुई है ये फायरिंग?
ये रात को हुई जी, ऑलमोस्ट 12:30-1 बजे। तो घर मेरा वेस्ट वैंकूवर में है, वहाँ पे हुई है। तो हमें खुद समझ नहीं आ रही कि ये हुआ क्या है, क्यों हुआ है, मतलब पता ही नहीं था कि ये कैसे, मतलब ये कैसे हो गया।
गिप्पी जी, ये सलमान खान का नाम से एक पोस्ट आई है जिसमें सलमान खान के नाम का जिक्र है, लॉरेंस बिश्नोई की तरफ से, उसमें दाऊद का नाम है। ये आपका क्या एंगल आ रहा है?
एक्चुअली जब ये वारदात हुई तो पहले तो मैं ये शॉक था, क्योंकि आज तक जिंदगी में कंट्रोवर्सी में नहीं डला, मेरी किसी के साथ दुश्मनी नहीं है। तो मुझे यही समझ नहीं आ रही थी कि ये कौन हो सकता है, मैंने ऐसा क्या। तो जब उसका ही तो वो तो मेरे लिए बहुत शॉकिंग था, क्योंकि सलमान खान का जब नाम आया तो मेरी कौन सी सलमान खान के साथ दोस्ती है। तो एज अ मतलब मैं फिल्मों में काम करता हूँ, मैं वहाँ पे गया, प्रोड्यूसर जिसकी फिल्म थी उन्होंने सलमान को ट्रेलर लॉन्च में बुला लिया, मैं तो खुद उसको वहाँ पे मिला हूँ। उससे पहले मैं बिग बॉस में गया था तो तब मिला था। मेरा कुछ लेन देन ही नहीं है, ना कुछ दोस्त है, या तो वो ना बहुत दोस्त है, मेरी फ्रेंडशिप है, जहाँ उसका गुस्सा डाला जा रहा है। तो मेरे लिए तो मतलब अभी भी शॉकिंग है, मैं प्रोसेस नहीं कर पा रहा इस पूरे चैप्टर को कि मेरे साथ क्या हुआ है।
गिप्पी ग्रेवाल जो पंजाबी सिंगर है, इनके घर पे फायरिंग आप लोगों ने कराई है, लॉरेंस बिश्नोई गैंग ने?
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल सर, हमने करवाई है, क्योंकि सर ये भाईजान के बड़ा खास हो रखा है। ये वहाँ जाके फिल्मों का प्रमोशन करवा रहा है, अपने दुश्मन है, खास जग जाहिर है कि सलमान खान हमारा दुश्मन है, तो इसको ये सपोर्ट कर रहा है, तो बिल्कुल ये भी हमारा दुश्मन होगा, तो इसलिए बिल्कुल हमने करवाई है।
लेकिन वो ग्रेवाल ने, जो पंजाबी सिंगर है, उन्होंने बोला कि सलमान खान से उनकी कोई दोस्ती नहीं है।
सर आप पीछे आपको पता होगा, ये पीछे भी कोई मूवी में इसने संजय दत्त से शायद इसने प्रमोशन करवाया था, हमें कोई तकलीफ ही नहीं है, क्योंकि उनसे हमारा कोई लेना देना नहीं है। अगर सलमान खान से ये नहीं है, कोई भी कराएगा तो बिल्कुल वो सबसे बड़ा हमारा दुश्मन होगा और बिल्कुल मारेंगे। ये तो इसको टेलर दिखाया है, अगर अब की बार ये गलती करेगा तो बिल्कुल मारेंगे। ये नहीं है, कोई भी उसको सपोर्ट करेगा तो बिल्कुल मारेंगे।
अमन भारद्वाज, my colleague, now joining us for more details on this. अमन, अब तक सिर्फ पंजाब तक ही सीमित था ये जो गैंग वॉर्स चल रहे थे, जो गैंगस्टर्स उत्पात मचा रहे थे, लॉरेंस बिश्नोई जो जेल में बैठ के अपने एसोसिएट्स को जो ऑर्डर्स दे रहे थे वायलेंस के लिए, क्राइम के लिए, बट अब लग रहा है कि कनाडा तक बात पहुंच चुकी है।
देखिए, इसकी एक साफ वजह यह भी है कि जितने नेक्सस यहाँ पे, जिस तरीके के नेक्सस या जो गैंग्स चल रहे थे, तो उनका एक कनाडा के साथ या प्रायोरिटी पर कनाडा है, लेकिन उसके अलावा और कंट्रीज के साथ एक डायरेक्ट इनडायरेक्ट कनेक्शन देखने को मिलता था। जितने आप इंसिडेंट पिछले देखिए, या जो भी गैंग वॉर हुए या गैंगस्टर्स डायरेक्ट इनडायरेक्ट इन फनौतियों में थे, चाहे वो व्हाट्सएप के जरिए बाहर के नंबरों से कॉल करना, चाहे वहाँ पे एक्टिविटीज करना, चाहे वो प्रो खालिस्तानी एक्टिविटीज में पार्ट लेना, यहाँ पर कोई ना कोई थ्रेट दिलवाना, तो इन सब में कहीं ना कहीं एक बाहर, देश से बाहर का कनेक्शन सामने आता था, और उसमें कनाडा नंबर 1 पर था। और उसके बाद क्योंकि गोल्डी बराड़ का, जब सिद्धू मूसेवाले का कत्ल हुआ, तो उसमें भी गोल्डी बराड़ जिसने जिम्मेवारी ली, और लॉरेंस के जरिए पूरा नेक्सस, जो पूरी कॉन्स्पिरेसी थी, तो वो भी खुद कनाडा सेटल्ड है। और उसके अलावा आप देखिए कि 200 के करीब गैंग्स हैं जो डायरेक्ट इनडायरेक्ट तरीके से, और जिसमें ज्यादातर पंजाबी है। कनाडा में जितने गैंग्स हैं 200 के करीब, उसमें सब में पंजाबियों की ज्यादातर इन्वॉल्वमेंट है। तो क्या कारण है? क्योंकि खास करके देखने को मिल रही है, क्योंकि यहाँ से डायरेक्ट और इनडायरेक्ट कनेक्शन जो है वो कनाडा के साथ नजर आता है। उसका कारण एक ये भी है कि वहां पर ट्रेस करना या कार्रवाई करना पॉसिबल नहीं है जिस तरीके के साथ यहाँ पर पंजाब में है, क्योंकि यहाँ पर पंजाब में ज्यादातर जो गैंग्स ऐसे चलते हैं वो या तो थ्रू जेल्स हैं या फिर कनाडा के जरिए ऑपरेट होते हैं, क्योंकि अगर बाहर कोई भी घूम रहा होगा उस पर कार्रवाई कोशिश रहती है कि की जाए। लेकिन इस चीज का जिक्र NIA ने अपनी अलग अलग चार्जशीट्स में किया, अलग अलग केसेस, चाहे वो अब सिद्धू मूसेवाला का देखिए, चाहे आप विक्की मिद्दू खेड़ा का कत्ल हुआ, यहाँ पर हत्या की गई, उसमें देखिए, तो उन एक मॉडस ऑपरेंडी, एक थीम सेट ये रहता है कि बाहर से कॉन्स्पिरेसी होती है, शूटर्स को हायर किया जाता है और ऑपरेट कर हवाला के जरिए पैसे की पूरा लेन देन जो है वो किया जाता है। उसमें कहीं ना कहीं कनाडा इन्वॉल्व रहता है। लेकिन और कंट्रीज के अगर आप कंपैरिजन में देखें तो कनाडा उस तरीके की कार्रवाई उन गैंगस्टर्स पर या यहाँ से जो ऑपरेट इन गैंग्स को करते हैं वो नहीं कर पाता। तो उसमें एक कनाडा के ऊपर बड़े सवाल खड़े होते हैं कि क्या ये गैंग्स या जो गैंगस्टर्स हैं अगर कनाडा से ऐसे ही ऑपरेट करते रहे तो पंजाब से लोग जैसे गिप्पी गरेवाल यहाँ से माइग्रेट हुए हैं जस्ट फॉर द सेफ्टी की कनाडा में रहकर सेफ हैं वो, लेकिन उनकी भी सेफ्टी अब सवालों में है। और ये आप देखिए कि 2 साल सरकार को हुए हैं, उसमें सिद्धू मूसेवाला का कत्ल होना और कत्ल होना, हत्याएं होना, उसके अलावा कनेक्शन ये सामने है ना, अपने आप में बड़े सवाल खड़े करता है। और जब सिद्धू मूसेवाले की
these murders are happening in Canada as well. That is the link that also needs to be investigated. But Aman, thank you so much for getting us the latest on that. With that, we're slipping into a quick break here on this edition of Nation at 5. But there's lots more lined up for you on the other side. Don't go anywhere.
ये क्या प्रक्रिया होती है और कैसे होता है? ये
पाइप में जाके मैनुअली खुदाई करते हैं,
हाँ,
और तसला में मिट्टी भर के बाहर करते हैं।
तो ये जो पाइप है, ये पाइप है, बहुत छोटा पाइप है, 800 मिलीमीटर का पाइप है। इसमें जाकर के आप इस मशीन का यूज़ करके आप रैट माइनिंग कीजिएगा। ये कितना मुश्किल टास्क होने वाला है?
इसमें मुश्किल तो कुछ नहीं है करने वाले के लिए। बाकी देखिए,
हौसला तो आपका बिल्कुल बुलंद है, लेकिन ये कैसे प्रक्रिया होती है, एक बार थोड़ा समझाएंगे इससे क्या प्रक्रिया होती है?
हम लोग जैसे खुला मिट्टी हो, ज़्यादा खुला, जैसे हार्ड मिट्टी आएगी तो उसमें हम हिल्टी यूज करेंगे, नहीं तो हम मैनुअली कस्सी से
अच्छा।
तसला भर के निकालेंगे मलबा।
ये पत्थर और ये सब हटाने के लिए, मलबा हटाने के काम आएगा, लेकिन अगर बीच में कुछ लोहा आ गया, कुछ और आ गया, तो उसके लिए भी ये सफल रहेगा या उसके लिए कुछ और प्रक्रिया और लगेगी?
उसके लिए गैस कटर है हमारे पास, जो हमारे बिल्डर भी हैं यहाँ पे, फिटर भी हैं, वो कटिंग करके निकालेंगे, फिर हम आगे बढ़ते रहेंगे।
तो क्या उम्मीदें हैं? आप देखिए 41 लोग फंसे हुए हैं, उनके परिवार वाले भी देख रहे होंगे, तो उनको कैसे आप क्या बोलना चाहेंगे उनको और कैसे उनको मोटिवेट करना चाहेंगे?
हम लोग एक्चुअली कोशिश कर रहे हैं, निकाल देंगे, इतना एक्सपीरियंस है हम लोग को। हाँ।
इससे पहले आप कहाँ थे, कहाँ से आए हैं आप?
एक्चुअली मैं तो दिल्ली से आया हूँ।
हाँ।
काफ़ी जगहों पे काम कर चुका हूँ।
हाँ. So yes, this is the last hope that the people who are stuck inside the tunnel for the last 41 days, now finally these rat miners will go inside and make sure manually that each and every person who is stuck inside, that they will come out, and also the kind of debris that is present, that debris will be taken out now manually. What remains to be seen, if at all this plan will be successful, because over the last 16 days we have seen that several of the plans that have been made by the rescuers, that has absolutely fallen flat on its face, be it the state-of-the-art machineries that have been used. Now finally we have come back to the basics, and finally people will go in and physically take out the debris. Hopefully this time around this plan will be successful, and finally we'll get to see those visuals where these people are finally coming out of the tunnel safely. Few workers had reported of some uneasiness, but yes, they have been given the requisite medicines, is what the rescuers are claiming at this point in time, since we haven't been able to make any sort of contact with the workers. But yes, what the rescuers are saying at this point in time, what they are claiming at this point in time, is that all of them are absolutely safe, their mental health is good. But yes, that is the big question, that for how long will these people remain motivated, because it has been more than 15 days. This is the 16th day that is ongoing, and for the last 16 days they have been stuck inside this tunnel. Although finally they started getting started getting access to solid food and everything, but yes, that also happened after 9 days. So what the doctors who have spoken to them told us that yes, these people are fine, they have lost a lot of weight, but yes, they are doing fine and they remain motivated. But yes, the rescue operations that are underway, that is absolutely in full swing today. Over the last 48 hours we saw that the entire drilling operation came to a grinding halt because of a miscalculation that was done by the rescuers at that point. The ground penetrating radar, the report that came in from that radar, absolutely proved to be absolutely false. And in fact, the experts that have been the best of the best experts that have been called in from all across the globe, they were actually not able to read through that ground penetrating radar reports that had come in. And that is the reason why over the last more than 48 hours, the entire operation came to a grinding halt, where the auger machine was stuck inside the pipe for more than 48 hours, and that is the reason why the process of vertical drilling was also started. I'll just try and move out of the frame and try and show you in the visuals over here. Finally, the auger machine has come out from the pipe. It took the rescuers 48 hours to rescue the auger machine, and in the next few minutes we are expecting that this manual drilling process will start. The Indian Army has also been called in. The best engineers of the Indian Army have been called in over here. Rat miners have been called in over here, who have a lot of experience as to how to manually drill through the terrain. But yes, the terrain that the rescuers are facing at this point in time, this terrain is debris, and it is very difficult to predict what might come up in the debris. So if everything goes according to the plan, the rat miners expect that within the next 16 to 18 hours they'll be able to make that breakthrough. But yes, what will come up in the debris, that is a big question, and that is something that is a cause of concern. And that is the reason why the rescuers are not only dependent on this drilling, and hence the vertical boring process has also started. In fact, an 8-inch lifeline pipe is being drilled through at this point in time as we speak, from atop this mountain that you see in your screens right now. An 8-inch vertical lifeline pipe is being drilled through, and also a 1.2 meter, approximately 3.5 feet diameter pipe is also being drilled through vertically. The work on that is going on at a great speed. The engineers who are carrying out this operation are very confident, because they know that they have the requisite machinery to drill through this terrain, whereas the machinery that was required to drill through an unknown territory, that was a debris, that was a big cause of concern. So they are very confident that over the next 72 to 76 hours this entire operation of vertical drilling will happen. But yes, still the quickest way through which the rescuers can reach at the exact location where these workers are stuck is through the manual drilling process, and we are expecting yet again, fingers crossed and praying to God that this time around the plans that have been made by the rescuers, hopefully this plan will give them the breakthrough that they are waiting for, and hopefully this plan will not fall flat right on its face, as we have seen happening over the past 16 days now. So yes, the next few hours are going to be very, very crucial, and finally we are hoping that this time around the plan that has been made of rat mining, this plan will be successful and finally these people will come out safely. Over the last 16 days, rescue operations have been ongoing. The best state-of-the-art machineries have already been called in, but yes, in that debris, all that machineries have failed. And now finally the rescuers have resorted to the only technique that is possible now, and that is what is manual drilling. To talk more on this and to get to know how this process will be going on, because this is being called as rat mining. What is rat mining and how will this happen? I am being joined by the person who is actually going to go ahead and become a hero in this entire operation. I will speak to him and try to figure out as to how will this operation go ahead. भैया आपका नाम क्या है पहले ये बताएं?
मेरा नाम सूर्या मोहन राय है।
अच्छा, ये रैट माइनिंग का कह रहे हैं, ये क्या प्रक्रिया होती है और कैसे होता है? ये
पाइप में जाके मैनुअली खुदाई करते हैं,
हाँ,
और तसला में मिट्टी भर के बाहर करते हैं।
तो ये जो
Welcome back. You're watching Nation at 5 with me, Poonam Burde. And the shocking story coming to the fore from Prayagraj, where we had a 20-year-old BTech student who was arrested because he used a cleaver to attack a bus conductor. Some believe that it began as a routine small dispute over non-payment, but now the police that are investigating the case believe that it was much more than that there was a bigger plot that perhaps was unearthed. We also then had this student, the accused, Lareb Hashmi, who escaped after attacking the bus conductor, went inside a college campus, shot a video of him confessing to the crime, also then going on to say that he would do it again, urging other people from the community as well to indulge in similar acts, indulge in violence, which is why he was arrested. Several raids were conducted at his residence as well. Incriminating evidence has been found by the police during these raids. Let's now get you, before we get you more details of what exactly has been found in those raids, listen into that confession video that he shot before he was arrested.
अस्सलाम वालेकुम रहमतुल्लाहि व बरकातहू। एक उस दुश्मन इस्लाम जो मुसलमानों को गाली दे रहा था, हज़रत खालिद बिन वलीद रज़ियल्लाहु तआला अन्हु की बरकत से मैं देखो मारा है, इंशाअल्लाह वो बचेगा नहीं, इंशाअल्लाह वो मरेगा। यहाँ से फ्रांस तक, पूरी दुनिया तक ये गरीब नवाज के तक पैगाम दे रहा है जिसने हुजूर के खिलाफ बात की है। लब्बैक या रसूल अल्लाह, हम जिएंगे आपके लिए, मरेंगे आपके लिए, इंशाअल्लाह मार देंगे। तो ये ना समझे कि हुकूमत मोदी की है, योगी की है, नहीं, हमारे दिनों पर राज सिर्फ मुस्तफ़ा जानी रहमत का चलता है।
So what exactly was this conspiracy? What was this bigger plot? Let's take a look at what we have gathered from our sources within the intelligence agencies. Lareb Hashmi, the accused in this case, is the video that he shot right after he fled before he was arrested. He was not looking to attack one particular individual. He wanted to do this to anybody from the Hindu community, is what the agencies now believe. That Hashmi wanted to attack anyone who was a Hindu. The attack was planned. He ran into the college campus then and shot the video where he confessed, also then trying to mobilize more people to indulge in similar violent acts. Agencies also believe that he is highly radical individual who went to this extreme of hacking this bus conductor who is seriously injured. Now, he regularly listened to preachings of the Tehreek-e-Labbaik Pakistan as well, which is why he is believed to be part of a bigger plot. That is the line of investigation the agencies, the police are now pursuing. Amit, my colleague, now joining us live, getting us more details. Amit, आपको और क्या जानकारी मिली है? ये कोई बड़े साजिश को अंजाम देना चाह रहा था?
देखिए, सबसे पहले तो इंसिडेंट के बाद, वारदात के बाद उसने एक वीडियो शॉट की और वो वीडियो जो था वो उसमें बहुत अच्छी वो पंजाबी बोल रहा है, जबकि ये प्रयागराज का रहने वाला है और प्रयागराज के गांव का रहने वाला है और अगर देखा जाए तो मुस्लिम है। तो जाहिर तौर पे एजेंसीज ये जानना चाहती कि इतनी अच्छी पंजाबी उसको मालूम कहां से चली, क्या वो किसी और के संपर्क में था, क्या उसने जिस तरीके की वारदात को अंजाम दिया है बस उसका चेहरा है, पीछे साजिश करता कोई और है। और यही वजह है कि देखिए एटीएस आज सुबह सुबह तड़के उसके घर पर रेड करती है। और जब रेड करने के लिए पहुंची एटीएस, तो एटीएस को काफी मशक्कत करनी पड़ी उसके घर में दाखिल होने के लिए, क्योंकि कोई उसके फैमिली मेंबर्स, एक्यूज का फैमिली मेंबर्स गेट नहीं खोल रहा था। एटीएस ने लोकल पुलिस से मदद ली, जो ग्राम प्रधान था वो आया, उसके बाद उसकी मां, एक्यूज की मां शबनम ने दरवाजा खोला और उसके बाद एटीएस अंदर दाखिल हुई है। सोर्सेस तो हमारे यहां तक बता रहे हैं कि काफी लंबी पूछताछ हुई है, उसकी मां शबनम और पिता यूनिस से पूछताछ हुई है, और जो आरोपी हाशमी का कमरा था उसमें जब तलाशी ली गई है तो एक पेन ड्राइव मिला है। उस पेन ड्राइव में हाफिज सईद के वीडियो लोड था। तो जाहिर तौर पे एक तो समझ में आ रहा है कि, और जो एजेंसीज भी लगातार ऑफ कैमरा बता रही हैं कि वो रेडिकुलाइज था, लेकिन इस रेडिकुलाइज के क्या वो सेल्फ रेडिकुलाइज था या फिर वो किसी के संपर्क में था, किसी और पाकिस्तानी किसी आका के संपर्क में था, इस बारे में पुलिस लगातार पता लगा रही है। एटीएस इस बारे में इन्वेस्टिगेशन कर रही है, और हमारे सोर्सेस ये भी बता रहे हैं कि हो सकता है कि जो उसका जो घर है, जो बाहर की जो बाउंड्रीज है वो इलीगल तरीके से बनी है, तो प्रशासन का बुलडोजर भी चल सकता है। जी,
क्या इसके और कोई साथीदार हैं? क्या उस पर कोई जांच हो रही है अभी? क्या ये अकेले काम कर रहा था? क्या इसका कोई और गैंग भी था? क्या उस लाइन पे भी पूछताछ होगी?
देखिए, उसने तो एक बात कबूल कर ली है, इंट्रोगेशन के दौरान उसने कबूल किया कि खादिम हुसैन रिजवी, जो कि पाकिस्तानी स्कॉलर है, उसका वीडियो वो लगातार इंटरनेट पर देखा करता था। जब एटीएस ने आज रेड किया है तो जो उसके पेनड्राइव से जो वीडियो मिला है वो हाफिज सईद का वीडियो मिला है। तो जाहिर तौर पे ये दोनों कितने कट्टर हैं और किस तरीके की बयानबाजी करते हैं, खास तौर से इंडियंस के बारे में, इंडिया के बारे में वो हर किसी को मालूम है। तो फिलहाल उसका यही कहना है, जो अभी तक के पूछताछ में उसने पुलिस को बताया है, जो हमारे सोर्सेज बता रहे हैं कि वो सेल्फ रेडिकुलाइज था, वो लगातार इंटरनेट पर वीडियो देखकर ये सब सीख रहा था। लेकिन जिस तरीके से उसने जो वारदात के बाद, इंसिडेंट के बाद जो वीडियो शॉट किया और जिसको वो उसने अपलोड किया था, सबसे पहले अपलोड करने से पहले भी उसने अपने जो क्लासमेट्स और उसके जो दोस्त थे उन्हें भेजा था। तो उसमें वो बहुत शानदार पंजाबी लैंग्वेज में वो बोल रहा है, पंजाबी भाषा का इस्तेमाल कर रहा है, पंजाबी शब्दों का इस्तेमाल कर रहा है। तो जाहिर तौर पर प्रयागराज के गांव का रहने वाला शख्स इस तरीके से इतनी खूबसूरती से पंजाबी कैसे बोल पा रहा है, इस बारे में एटीएस और तमाम एजेंसीज पता लगा रही है कि क्या वो कभी प्रयागराज से बाहर भी गया है, क्या वो किसी ऐसे लोगों के संपर्क में था जो उससे लगातार पंजाबी एक्सेंट में बात कर रहे थे। तो इस बारे में एटीएस लगातार पूछताछ कर रही है। तो वहीं दूसरी तरफ फिलहाल आरोपी हाशमी जो है इस वक्त जुडिशियल कस्टडी में है, वो जेल में है, लेकिन इन्वेस्टिगेशन लगातार जारी है।
जी, अमित कुमार सिंह, धन्यवाद for getting us those details. Former DGP of Uttar Pradesh, Arvind Jain, now joining us on the broadcast. So thank you so much for speaking with us here on CNN News 18. We saw this incident that came to the fore where a bus conductor was attacked with a cleaver, but that seems to now have blown the lid of something much bigger.
It is going to be a much bigger issue. It is not a very simple issue. And police and ATS and all the agencies are going deeper into all the details, all possible details. Was he radicalized by someone, or he was just radicalized by going through videos of Pakistani Maulanas, and who all he was in touch with. Police is investigating, ATS is investigating all these aspects. And I think his mobile phone, laptop, they are being examined. They have been sent to Forensic Science Laboratory. So that ATS knows who all are involved in this, or is he the lone wolf?
Right, was he the lone wolf, or is there a bigger nexus?
Yes.
That is of course going to be investigated. But I also want to ask you, Mr. Jain, we live in a digital age. We're given to understand that this man was highly radicalized because he saw videos or heard preachings from a man coming in from Pakistan. In the age and times that we live in, how do we put an end to something like this?
It is not possible to put an end. If a person has tendency, if a person wishes to see such materials on internet, everything is available there. If somebody wants to watch porno, he can watch it. If he wants to listen to the preachings of these Maulanas, these anti-national people who are working against the interests of India, such videos are there in large numbers. And if you want to get radicalized by going through all these, it's very unfortunate that a person who is doing engineering from a prestigious engineering college in Prayagraj, he is getting radicalized. Even villagers are, the village to which he belongs, even they are aghast that how come he has committed such a ghastly crime.
Absolutely. Investigations will follow, and we'll find out sooner than later what exactly the real intent and how big this nexus was. But Arvind Jain, thank you so much for speaking with us here on CNN 18 and sharing your perspective. We are shifting focus now to some breaking news that's coming in from Kashmir. 7 students of Kashmir University of Agricultural Sciences and Technology have been booked now. An FIR has been registered against them for allegedly abusing, threatening and targeting a student. This was during the World Cup final, the India versus Australia match. The student alleges that he was targeted for supporting the Indian team during the World Cup match. There were pro-Pakistani slogans that were also raised by these students, which is why they now face an FIR against them. Ishan, my colleague, now joining us, getting us more details. Ishan, what more can you tell us about this particular instance?
The FIR that CNN News 18 has accessed clearly shows that the complainant has told police that it was on the 19th when the World Cup match was taking place and he was supporting India. And that's when after the match, there was some, altercation that took place. And following which the student who is not a resident of Jammu and Kashmir claims that he was threatened, abused, and then there were also pro-Pakistan slogans to raised during that particular movement. And then in fear, he did not step out, and that is when also the students who are from outside J&K also felt threatened. And then next morning, he lodged an FIR, after which we are told by sources that some arrests have been made of these students who are 7 in number, and their names have been also mentioned in the FIR. They have been booked under UAPA and IPC and different sections of IPC. The action of the police is now following on this particular incident. This is after a very long time that such kind of incident has taken place in any university or education institutes in Kashmir Valley. Now, police is trying to probe it further because of the allegations that have been alleged by one of the students now, and the police is trying to probe the entire matter to really what happened. But yes, an FIR has been registered and police is probing it further.
Right, Ishan, thank you so much for getting us the latest on that. We're slipping into a quick break here on this edition of Nation at 5, but we'll be back with all the latest updates, especially the Prime Minister's roadshow as the campaigning for Telangana draws to a close tomorrow. The BJP, of course, is making its last push with its star campaigner holding a roadshow in Hyderabad for the first time ever. We'll get you more details of that right after a quick break. Don't go anywhere.
ये पाइप है, बहुत छोटा पाइप है, 800 मिलीमीटर का पाइप है. इसमें जाकर के आप इस मशीन का यूज़ करके आप रैट माइनिंग कीजिएगा. ये कितना मुश्किल टास्क होने वाला है?
इसमें मुश्किल तो कुछ नहीं है करने वाले के लिए. बाकी देखिए,
हौसला तो आपका बिल्कुल बुलंद है, लेकिन ये कैसे प्रक्रिया होती है, एक बार थोड़ा समझाएंगे इससे क्या प्रक्रिया होती है?
हम लोग जैसे खुला मिट्टी हो, ज़्यादा खुला जैसे हार्ड मिट्टी आएगी तो उसमें हम हिल्टी यूज करेंगे, नहीं तो मैनुअली कस्सी से तसला भर के निकालेंगे.
ये पत्थर और ये सब हटाने के लिए, मलबा हटाने के काम आएगा. लेकिन अगर बीच में कुछ लोहा आ गया, कुछ और आ गया, तो उसके लिए भी ये सफल रहेगा या उसके लिए कुछ और प्रक्रिया और लगेगी?
उसके लिए गैस कटर है हमारे पास, जो हमारे वेल्डर भी हैं, यहाँ पे फिटर भी हैं, वो कटिंग करके निकालेंगे, फिर हम आगे बढ़ते रहेंगे.
तो क्या उम्मीदें हैं? आप देखिए 41 लोग फंसे हुए हैं, उनके परिवार वाले भी देख रहे होंगे, तो उनको कैसे आप क्या बोलना चाहेंगे उनको और कैसे उनको मोटिवेट करना चाहेंगे?
हम लोग एक्चुअली कोशिश कर रहे हैं, निकाल देंगे, इतना एक्सपीरियंस है हम लोग को.
इससे पहले आप कहाँ थे, कहाँ से आए हैं आप?
एक्चुअली मैं तो दिल्ली से आया हूँ. काफ़ी जगहों पे काम कर चुका हूँ.
So yes, this is the last hope that the people who are stuck inside the tunnel for the last 41 days, now finally these rat miners will go inside and make sure manually that each and every person who is stuck inside, that they will come out, and also the kind of debris that is present, that debris will be taken out now manually. What remains to be seen, if at all this plan will be successful, because over the last 16 days we have seen that several of the plans that have been made by the rescuers, that has absolutely fallen flat on its face, be it the state-of-the-art machineries that have been used. Now finally we have come back to the basics, and finally people will go in and physically take out the debris. Hopefully this time around this plan will be successful, and finally we'll get to see those visuals where these people are finally coming out of the tunnel safely. Few workers had reported of some uneasiness, but yes, they have been given the requisite medicines, is what the rescuers are claiming at this point in time, since we haven't been able to make any sort of contact with the workers. But yes, what the rescuers are saying at this point in time, what they are claiming at this point in time, is that all of them are absolutely safe, their mental health is good. But yes, that is the big question, that for how long will these people remain motivated, because it has been more than 15 days. This is the 16th day that is ongoing, and for the last 16 days they have been stuck inside this tunnel.
Welcome back. You're watching Nation at 5, and these are visuals coming in from Hyderabad, where Prime Minister Modi, the star campaigner of the BJP, is holding a roadshow. This is for the first time ever that the Prime Minister is in the city of Hyderabad with his roadshow. Remember, Telangana goes to polls on the 30th of this month. Campaigning draws to a close tomorrow, and the Prime Minister there ending his campaign for Telangana today with this 2-kilometer long roadshow in the heart of the capital city in Hyderabad. Union Minister and State BJP President J. Kishan Reddy is with the Prime Minister, Member of Parliament of the BJP there as well, several other BJP leaders on that vehicle with the Prime Minister, as scores of karyakartas, scores of supporters line up the streets of Hyderabad to catch a glimpse of the Prime Minister. Payal, my colleague, now joining us from the thick of the action there. We'll try and get you more details from on ground there, get you the mood from Hyderabad. But the Prime Minister there ending his day in Telangana, 2 rallies during the day. Now it is a roadshow in the city of Hyderabad before he finishes his campaign for the state of Telangana. Tomorrow is the last day of campaigning. The BJP has kept its pressure on incumbent Chief Minister K. Chandrashekar Rao ahead of the Telangana elections. The BRS is corrupt is what the allegation is of the Prime Minister time and again of the BJP, and that's really the plank that the BJP has been pushing forth as far as Telangana elections go. A backward classes Chief Minister, if BJP is voted to power, is also the pitch the Prime Minister has made during multiple of his rallies. Payal is now with us, getting us a mood and flavour of ground in Hyderabad there. Payal, what's it like? The roads look chock-a-block there.
When it's like a festival of sorts on the streets of Hyderabad, as Prime Minister Narendra Modi undertakes his first ever roadshow in the capital city of Hyderabad. This is a distance is expected to cover 2 to 3 Lok Sabha Assembly constituencies. It is about close to 2 kilometers long. A huge frenzy on the streets. People are excited. They are out and about on the streets. Despite the fact that today is a holiday, so which Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Prime Minister Narendra Modi is not disappointing them. He's basically waving out to the crowd. He's just left from the first spot, which is of course there at the RTC Expo at the metro station. It was the first spot. The Prime Minister is just about on his way to the 2 kilometer long road show.
Right, 2 kilometers there, several constituencies as far as the city of Hyderabad is concerned. Mega roadshow of the Prime Minister for the first time in Hyderabad. Scores of BJP karyakartas, BJP supporters, voters on ground there to catch a glimpse of the Prime Minister as he closes his party's campaign, his personal campaign, so to say, for the BJP in Telangana. The state does have another 24 hours to go for campaigning before it ends for the November 30th elections. Swastika also joining us, getting us more details from on ground there. Swastika, if you could tell us how many constituencies is the Prime Minister covering with this particular roadshow?
Well, Hyderabad has 15 constituencies, remember, and this is why the Prime Minister's roadshow assumes a lot of significance. There is a celebration out there, as my colleague Payal was explaining. There's a lot of melee on the ground as cadres, along with local residents, rush to line up themselves at the perfect spot where they can spot the Prime Minister, even as he's continuously waving at the crowd here in Hyderabad. As far as the BJP's show of strength is concerned, this is their biggest star campaigner and this is their biggest roadshow, the first ever roadshow of Prime Minister Narendra Modi in the city of Hyderabad as Telangana goes to polls on the 30th of November. In Hyderabad itself, while there are 15 constituencies, BJP is confident of sweeping at least 6 to 7 of them according to the party sources. And in and around Hyderabad, the total constituencies where this could have an impact is 24.
Right, now Payal, we still have 24 hours to go before campaigning as a whole comes to an end, but this is really the Prime Minister's campaign ending, so to say, Swastika, isn't it? Today was a hectic day for the Prime Minister. First, he was at the Tirumala temple early in the morning, then 2 rallies across Telangana, and now, of course, this roadshow. Swastika?
Yes, if you could repeat your question, please. There's an audio disturbance.
Sure, I was just asking you, it has been a hectic campaign for the Prime Minister, especially today. He was at the Tirumala temple earlier in the day, 2 rallies then across Telangana, and ending his campaign for the state with this mega roadshow.
Oh, absolutely. And in fact, the Prime Minister, it has been a non-stop 3 days of straight campaigning as far as Telangana is concerned. Today, of course, he's wrapping up his Telangana schedule. The other leaders of the BJP will continue to stay here. 28th is the last day. But as far as BJP's biggest star campaigner is concerned for Narendra Modi, this is going to be his biggest roadshow in the city right now. 2-kilometer long roadshow in a long time. Again, first roadshow again in a long time. Earlier in the day, he started off his campaign in Telangana. Before that, he went to the Tirumala Tirupati Devasthanam, where he offered his worship at the Lord Venkateshwara Swami temple. And in fact, whenever the Prime Minister visits Andhra or Telangana, he always makes it a point to visit this holy site. And in fact, the Prime Minister's road show today is in a way the finale of BJP's campaign. Earlier in the day, he was also campaigning for Bandi Sanjay Kumar, the former state president of the BJP, and of course a key candidate, the party's Hindutva icon, street fighter as he's known. Prime Minister campaigned for him in Karimnagar, where he lashed out at the BRS, calling it as a government which has only stood as an epitome of corruption, dynasty politics and even appeasement politics, taking pot shots at KCR over his promise of taking an IT tower for Muslims. But yes, this is really what the BJP was hoping for, and from now on, as
absolutely, and we can see people on rooftops of buildings trying to catch a glimpse of the Prime Minister. Swastika, do stay on with me. Senior journalist R. Rajgopalan also joining us here on this broadcast. Mr. Rajgopalan, these are the kind of scenes we see every time the Prime Minister is campaigning or holding a roadshow, be it any city, be it any state. But how much do you think is this going to translate into votes for the BJP in a state like Telangana?
It is a testing case in Telangana. BJP is confident to convert that into votes. My understanding, Bodhi madam, thing is the focus on Rajasthan was different. The focus of Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh were different. But Narendra Modi's whole campaign in Telangana is unique because he added, as your correspondent story also, today he started off with the temple, which is the icon for all Telugu-speaking persons. So therefore, it is going to be a very, very important day for BJP. And Sanjay Bandi is contesting. He is a virulent speaker, very vociferous speaker, and he is a sitting member of Lok Sabha. So if he gets elected, he is going to be the main figure in that. Apart from that, my understanding is BJP is exposing KCR like anything, because Narendra Modi in his speech, 2 occasions he mentioned that BRS KCR wanted to join NDA, but he did not allow it. So it's going to be a very interesting thing. Who is going to take the mantle? If Mr. KCR is going to do a hat-trick, we have to wait and watch. Congress is doing its best, but Congress has no organization in Telangana. It is only a paper tiger according to BJP. Each one is accusing the other, but the net result is, the winner is Mr. K. Chandrashekar Rao, according to some insiders. BRS is doing very well, extremely well.
Sure. Mr. Rajgopalan, as far as the caste push or the caste pitch that is being made in election season, we have the Prime Minister who on multiple occasions during his rallies has said that if they are voted to power, the state would see a Chief Minister from the backward classes. Rahul Gandhi and the Congress have also been making a push for a caste census. Do you think that's something that resonates with the voters in Telangana?
It is going to affect the majority community. That is why they are instigating it. Backward community, OBC, backward community candidates are also more in BJP. Therefore, they are seeking a pitch. Definitely, it will work among the voters, electorate. Definitely, it will be a turning point if BJP is going to install a OBC as the Chief Minister, because the diverse politics will end in Telangana.
Mr. Rajgopalan, thank you so much for speaking with us here on CNN News 18 and sharing your perspective. These are visuals coming in on your screens from Hyderabad. It's a 2-kilometer long roadshow that the Prime Minister is undertaking, covering several constituencies of the city. There are 15 in the city of Hyderabad. Let's cut across and try and get a sense of the mood on ground there. Senior journalist Arun Anand also joining us here on this broadcast. Thank you so much for joining us and sharing your perspective, sir. We're seeing the kind of crowds that the Prime Minister has drawn in Hyderabad. We've seen similar scenes like this in many other cities across many other states for the Prime Minister. But as far as Telangana goes, how much do you think these optics are going to translate into votes for the BJP?
I think these crowds, they show that BJP has been able to break into, the BRS citadel. But see, you have to decouple the assembly elections from the Lok Sabha elections, and sometimes we have seen that though the crowds are huge, the crowds are actually always huge in Prime Minister's rallies. But even after holding such rallies, BJP sometimes has not been able to perform very well. See, as far as the current situation is concerned, I think BJP has been able to put BRS into a triangular fight along with Congress. But as far as the ground reports are concerned, I think it's the Congress is giving a tough fight to BRS, and of course the BJP is also trying to make a dent there. But I think BJP still has a long way to go there. But the popularity which you are seeing of Narendra Modi in Telangana, that augurs very well for the party, especially in the Lok Sabha polls, even if that doesn't transform so well in the Vidhan Sabha polls.
Sure, so it's the long-term picture that the BJP is really aiming for, not so much the elections on 30th, but it's the Lok Sabha polls and the future course for the BJP in the state, in the southern state. That's something that the BJP seems to be pushing forth with.
Yeah, absolutely, you are right. I think that's the goal of BJP, and also the BJP also understands that it has decoupled, the assembly election results from the Lok Sabha election results. But I would still say that BJP might be able to spring a surprise in some of the seats at Telangana. And when you have to make a dent in a state, it takes decades. BJP has been able to do it in several other states, and once it has made a dent there, it has never looked back. So I think probably, and also when you have person-centric parties, like BRS is an individual-centric party. So we have seen, like in case of Uttar Pradesh, till Mulayam Singh Yadav was there, we saw SP had dominated the political scene there. But once he went away, now we see the BJP has made a strong comeback, and BJP is dominating the state. So in the long run, I think BJP has a very bright future in Telangana, both at the state level as well as in terms of the Lok Sabha elections, because Congress anyway is becoming a kind of a jaded force at the national level. So these rallies which Prime Minister is holding, cutting across states, not only in Telangana, they show Prime Minister Narendra Modi remains the most popular leader and the most towering leader, and there is no other opposition leader who is even close to him. So that augurs very well for BJP as far as the forthcoming Lok Sabha polls are concerned.
Arun Anand, thank you so much for speaking with us here on CNN News 18 and sharing your perspective. The BJP there riding high on the success of the civic polls in Hyderabad last year around as well, looking at the bigger picture of what the state can offer as far as 2024 general elections go, also trying to make gateways in the southern state there. The BJP having not much luck really in most of the southern states, voted out of Karnataka as well recently. The Prime Minister there, the star campaigner of the BJP, hoping, and the BJP of course riding high on that popularity, hoping that these optics turn into votes come voting day on the 30th of November for the BJP. They have successfully made this a three-cornered fight between the Congress, BJP and the BRS. The youngest state in the country, Telangana, goes to vote on 30th of November. Results are going to be out on the 3rd of December. The BJP has maintained its attack on Chief Minister KCR. Corruption has been the plank that the BJP has been pushing through with. Let's cut across and try and get in the mood from on ground.
सर सीधे सीधे लोगों से अपने सारे कामों की और उसकी उपलब्धि बताते हैं। तो जाहिर सी बात है कि ये रिपोर्ट कार्ड रखकर ही प्राइम मिनिस्टर उस चीज को मोदी अपने इलाके जिस इलाके में जाते हैं और वहां वो डेवलपमेंट की बात करते हैं। शायद ये डेवलपमेंट की बात इस दौर में अब दूसरी पार्टियों की तरफ से नहीं हो रही है। जैसे कि अभी जब यहाँ देख रहे हैं वैसे सभी पार्टियों ने अपने अपनी तरह से एक फ्रीबी का एक लंबा लिस्ट निकाला है। तेलंगाना में आप देखिए केसीआर इसी के लिए जाने जाते हैं कि समाज कल्याण में उनकी एक बड़ी भूमिका है और वही उनको पिछली बार भी सत्ता में वापसी लाया था। तो कांग्रेस ने इस बार उनके तमाम जितने भी फ्लैगशिप इसकी सॉरी जो समाज कल्याण
Swastika, my colleague now joining us, getting us more perspective on this mega road show of the Prime Minister. This is the end of his campaign for the state of Telangana. There are 24 more hours to go before campaigning ends for the state of Telangana. The Prime Minister there making his last effort for his party's chances. We'll keep getting you more of that from on ground there in Hyderabad. But with that, it's a wrap from my side here on this edition of Nation at 5. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Facing that it's the semi-finality of Congress giving on a slight edge there.
They started getting started getting access to solid food and everything, but yes, that also happened after 9 days. So what the doctors who have spoken to them told us that yes, these people are fine, they have lost a lot of weight, but yes, they are doing fine and they remain motivated. But yes, the rescue operations that are underway, that is absolutely in full swing today. Over the last 48 hours, we saw that the entire drilling operation came to a grinding halt because of a miscalculation that was done by the rescuers at that point. The ground penetrating radar, the report that came in from that radar absolutely proved to be absolutely false, and in fact the experts that have the best of the best experts that have been called in from all across the globe, they were actually not able to read through that ground penetrating radar reports that had come in, and that is the reason why over the last more than 48 hours the entire operation came to a grinding halt, where the auger machine was stuck inside the pipe for more than 48 hours, and that is the reason why the process of vertical drilling was also started. I'll just try and move out of the frame and try and show you in the visuals over here. Finally, the auger machine has come out from the pipe. It took the rescuers 48 hours to rescue the auger machine, and in the next few minutes we are expecting that this manual drilling process will start. The Indian Army has also been called in. The best engineers of the Indian Army have been called in over here. Rat miners have been called in over here, who have a lot of experience as to how to manually drill through the terrain. But yes, the terrain that the rescuers are facing at this point in time, this terrain is debris, and it is very difficult to predict what might come up in the debris. So if everything goes according to the plan, the rat miners expect that within the next 16 to 18 hours they'll be able to make that breakthrough. But yes, what will come up in the debris, that is a big question, and that is something that is a cause of concern, and that is the reason why the rescuers are not only dependent on this drilling, and hence the vertical boring process has also started. In fact, an 8-inch lifeline pipe is being drilled through at this point in time as we speak, from atop this mountain that you see in your screens right now. An 8-inch vertical lifeline pipe is being drilled through, and also a 1.2 meter, approximately 3.5 feet diameter pipe is also being drilled through vertically. The work on that is going on at a great speed. The engineers who are carrying out this operation are very confident, because they know that they have the requisite machinery to drill through this terrain, whereas the machinery that was required to drill through an unknown territory, that was a debris, that was a big cause of concern. So they are very, very confident that over the next 72 to 76 hours, this entire operation of vertical drilling will happen. But yes, still the quickest way through which the rescuers can reach at the exact location where these workers are stuck is through the manual drilling process, and we are expecting, yet again, fingers crossed and praying to God that this time around the plans that have been made by the rescuers, hopefully this plan will give them the breakthrough that they are waiting for, and hopefully this plan will not fall flat right on its face, as we have seen happening over the past 16 days now. So yes, the next few hours are going to be very, very crucial, and finally we are hoping that this time around the plan that has been made of rat mining, this plan will be successful and finally these people will come out safely. Over the last 16 days, rescue operations have been ongoing. The best state-of-the-art machineries have already been called in, but yes, in that debris, all that machineries have failed. And now finally the rescuers have resorted to the only technique that is possible now, and that is what is manual drilling. To talk more on this and to get to know how this process will be going on, because this is being called as rat mining. What is rat mining and how will this happen? I am being joined by the person who is actually going to go ahead and become a hero in this entire operation. I will speak to him and try to figure out as to how will this operation go ahead. भैया, आपका नाम क्या है, पहले ये बताएं।
मेरा नाम सूर्या मोहन राय है।
अच्छा, ये रैट माइनिंग का कह रहे हैं, ये क्या प्रक्रिया होती है और कैसे होता है? ये
पाइप में जाके मैनुअली खुदाई करते हैं,
हाँ,
और तसला में मिट्टी भर के बाहर करते हैं।
तो ये
Good evening, hello and welcome. You're watching Plain Speak with me, Anusha Soni. Just days before Telangana goes to vote, Chief Minister K. Chandrashekar Rao has made a big pledge to woo the minorities in the poll-bound state. Mr. Rao has stated that last Thursday that BRS government will set up a special IT park. This IT park will be for Muslim youth near Hyderabad if the party is voted to power yet again. Addressing a rally in Malleshwaram, from where State Education Minister Samithi